Hey everybody, I am definitely in my happy spot. This is my first stop on my tour of trial gardens. It's Mast Young. They're one of the growers that we work with for a lot of our annuals. And the great thing about their trial gardens is that they have so many different varieties growing side by side. And this trial garden has pretty much every plant that they have in their catalog. So it's really great for us to be able to see them. And they have a lot of times in the ground and in pots often. So we get to just see their performance and their color and how well they hold up. Really a lot of fun. I'm going to start off by showing you kind of my favorite new additions. So I'm going to head over to the new arrivals area right now. This new Calibrachoa is called Calatastic Cappuccino, and you gotta love the coloring on this, and then just look at the vigor on the plant as well. Nice mounded habit. This is gonna be a great addition, and look at how nice it's gonna look with both your yellows, your oranges, probably even some reds, and I can picture this one looking pretty darn good with purple and pink as well. I had to make a stop here at the Trifection mix. These are 3 different colors of itsy petunias all in one combo, and maybe you were one of the customers that were lucky enough. We got a couple of preview plugs of this and we were able to have them on sale, and they just filled out so nice. I love the mounding habit on this one, and it has been a nonstop performer. As long as it gets its fertilizer and its water, it just keeps blooming and blooming and blooming, and it just gets covered. And the nice thing too is if you're fertilizing it enough, you're never going to even see those dead blooms because the new blooms just keep replacing the old ones. Sun Patience Red Candy. I love the dark leaf and then the striped flower on it, and nice kind of mounded habit, just like Sun Patience tend to get. Nice thing too is these can take full sun. They can go down to part shade, and they can even survive in full shade, but they tend to flower better with a little bit more sun. Here's a really vibrant petcoa. It's called Calaburst Yellow, and you can see, like a lot of the other petcoas on the market, which there aren't that many, this has lots of flowers, good mounding habit. These tend to be really cold tolerant as well. They're a petunia calibrachoa hybrid. The color on these looks very similar to bee's knees, but this is definitely a different plant from that. So it's just interesting to look at kind of what they're coming up with the yellows in the petunia type flowers. Zion Orange Burst Osteospermum. The color on this is really beautiful. You might notice it's a little bit more bronzy orange rather than bright orange. So nice kind of new addition to their lineup. These are the ones that tend to get a little taller so they can really fill out a pot, work great as a thriller. Another petcoa, this is Super Cal Premium Red Maple, and I love the Super Cals. And this one, the flowers are just enormous, and the color is really nice. It has a nice kind of reddish color on the outside. There's a tiny hint of orange inside as well. Just a really rich color, but look at how many flowers that thing is getting. And if it performs like the other Super Cal Premiums, I think everyone's gonna be really happy with this one. Probably the most unusual petunia I've ever seen. This is Amazonas Plum Cockatoo. Just look at the color. I love the green in there and the purple with the veining. Now this isn't going to be one that's going to be really noticeable from super far away, but boy, you get within 5 feet of it and you're not going to miss it. I love the curly edge. Look at that. This new black and white crazy tunia, this has got something going for it. Beautiful big flowers, great interior. The only thing I'm worried about, I'm gonna have to see it in a couple other spots because I do notice the spent flowers do kind of stand out a little. They don't blend in quite as much, but that just might be a timing thing. So hopefully I'll get to see these again somewhere else and get a sense for exactly how they perform. This is from a new series called Tea, and it's Indigo Vein, and the veining on that is pretty spectacular. It's really a nice texture on the plant. You can see lots of flowers, and it really covers the pot. Absolutely beautiful, and these flowers are really large. I'm impressed with the size of them, and this is kind of its twin over here. This is Magenta Vein. So the Tea Magenta Vein, again, really nice flower coverage on that. And then a third variety that they have is called Purple Green Edge. Looks a lot like the Picasso in purple. You can see nice little veining inside that one as well. And then again, super plant coverage, flower coverage, and just growth habit on that. Beautiful. I'm always a little hesitant with double petunias, but this one may change my mind. It's called the Double Stuff Violet Star, and if you look closely, it is one that does, we call bury its dead. So the dead flowers or spent flowers just get covered up by the new ones, and these flowers are spectacular. I mean, this thing is just covered in blooms, lots of new blooms on their way, and just look at how nice and mounded and trailing that is. Covers the pot. Really, really nice one. Here's another new Calibrachoa called Caramel, and I was worried this one would get a little washed out, but it looks stunning when I see it in person. And it's here with, I think that's the Mayan Sunset, and then I think this is the Lascar Mango Orange Verbena. And so you can just see how all these colors they actually play really nice. This is probably one of my favorite combinations right here. Some of the other members of the Flower Showers family are like this one here. This is the Flower Shower Golden Harvest. And so it's similar to the Mayan Sunset, but a little bit more of an orangey peach color to it. This one here is Flower Shower Flame. And this is one I don't think I've seen before. It's a little bit more of a kind of a pink, intense pink kind of color. This is Mayan Sunset. So this is the one we had. You can see normally it keeps its yellow on the inside, so they must have been getting some really intense sun or something for these to fade out a little bit. They did seem to play out a little bit. Over here is Patrick Star. This one has been doing great for us. And just look at that flower coverage. It just doesn't stop. This is the first year we've carried the Sally Fun Blue Lagoon, and this is kind of a new favorite of ours because it's a really beautiful salvia, and the color on it is really intense, and the flower coverage is unbelievable. They also have one called Sally Fun Blue Ice. Doesn't seem right now to be quite as in flower, or it doesn't hold the darker blooms quite as much. But then over here they have another one called Sally Fun Deep Ocean, so it's just slightly darker in color than the Blue Lagoon. And I think down here they have the white. So let me just see. Look at all these options here. It's pretty crazy. We are not going to be carrying every single one of them. Yeah, so here you can see this is the Sally Fun White. And these blooms on here are absolutely huge. And they're kind of a nice kind of fuzzy texture to them. So they catch the light in a way that's a little bit different than some of the others. Here are some of the cannas. We grew cannas for the first time in a long time this year, and they did really well for us. But I noticed over here a new variety that I've never seen before called Cleopatra. And it's interesting because the flowers are kind of bicolor. Oh, look at those doggone beetles. They have them everywhere, don't they? And so that's bicolor, but then so are the leaves. Now, I don't know if this one's available to us. This is in their summer survivor area, so they have some varieties in here that they don't sell, but it's just like really interesting when you look at those flowers on there. So when I asked what you guys wanted to see at the trial gardens, a lot of people asked for shade. So I'm here under the shade cloth, and I'm just going to highlight some of the different varieties that are out here just to give you an idea of what some of those options might be. So lamiums can be really nice both in baskets and in containers. And then of course there's impatiens. This series here is known as the Patchwork series. So Patchwork Pink Shades, Peach Prism, Cosmic Orange. There's several different kinds in that series, and they're known for that bicolor. I noticed the flowers are a little muddy on those, but it gives them a bit of an antique look. Then over here, this is Harmony Colorfall. So this is more of a basket variety, so it kind of covers the pot a little bit more. Look at the foliage on that beautiful, bright green leaves with that intense red, and the flowers are huge. So we have like an orange, so lots of ones in here. I love this supersonic cherry, sweet cherry. That foliage on there is just beautiful. I'm gonna just kind of sneak through here, and you can see there's a lot of other varieties. So we have like the Clockwork series over here, and then there's some of these doubles, like this is Double Fiesta Sparkler Hot Pink. Talk about a complicated name there. But I like the doubles because they look like roses. Double Fiesta Stardust Pink, that's a great color on that one too. Again, we're still in the Clockwork, and then there's some Magnums, so that's the Magnum series. Supersonic has been one that just gets nice and big. You can just see this is the Spectra series, so this one's a little bit more compact, I think. Actually, no, it's not. When I see the one, it's just that white one just happened to be compact, but that's just beautiful. And then the Roller Coaster series is known for these ruffly flowers, so that's a fun one. Just has a different look to it. Let's see, here's a Roller Coaster Red Racer. So just a really fun flower on that. More Spectra. Let's get around here. Yeah, so let's see what else. Sol Luna is another type of impatient. Oh, this candy apple's kind of interesting. Sorry, I'm just kind of looking. There's so many different types of impatiens out there. These are all New Guinea varieties. The ones in the beginning, some of those were regular impatiens. I haven't heard of the Celebration variety. So this is Celebration Apricot, nice and huge. And this is Double Silhouette White. Look at that. They look like roses, don't they? More Celebration. Ooh, look at the color on this one. This is called Icy Blue, Celebration Icy Blue. Celebration Purple Star, great bicolor. This is the Glimmer series. That's another double. Ooh, the Rose Star. You don't get much more intense color and dark foliage than that. Clockwork Cherry Strike, just like the name. Now the Hypoestes are another plant that tend to do really well in the shade, and these get nice and big. They just need some time. I noticed I had gotten some, and it just takes a little while for them to take off. So there's the white splash, the red splash, and the pink splash. And then there are some herbs that can handle, pretty shady areas. So this is a golden lemon thyme. This one here is a tricolor sage. What's that? That's a pineapple sage. I wonder, does that one have some fragrance in the leaves? Ooh, it smells very fruity. This rosemary's doing fine in shade. Your fuchsias do okay in the shade as well. Oregano, mint mojito, getting me thirsty. This is a type of lavender. So curious how that one goes. Lemon verbena. Again, I'm showing you things I'm not that familiar with. Oh, and now we're getting into more of the helichrysums. So this is kind of like your licorice type plants. Not the edible licorice, but the ornamental licorice. This is lemon licorice. Jury's out with me on whether or not I like that one or not. And then you can always use your ivies in your shady spots. What's down here? Oh boy, what's this? This is called Creeping Charlie. Okay, so I'm familiar with Creeping Charlie. I just didn't recognize it for some reason. Bunch of ivy geraniums over there. Begonias, their begonias are looking so good over here. These are the nonstop right here, nonstop yellow. Wow, talk about color. We need to get the rose picotee or picote. Look at the color and the flowers on these, just stunning. And then when I look, there's dark pink selenias here, and this is the light pink selenia. I think if I was making my choice, I might lean towards the light pink, but they're very similar. And then with the selenias, when it comes to red versus scarlet, I'd pick scarlet any day. It's way more of a rich, intense red. This is a little bit orangey peach red. That's a nonstop red, nonstop pink, nonstop orange. The Selenia yellows are a little bit more pale, and then there's the Nonstop Joy yellow. That's a little bit more pale than just the regular Nonstop. That's what I found anyway. Oh, stop me in my tracks. This is the Vermilion Hot Pink. So last year this season we had the Vermilion Red. That's the one we've been talking about because it just keeps flowering and flowering. It doesn't leave a mess either. I mean, look, we just found that it just buries its dead. Look at that hot pink one. We're gonna have to build both. And this is one that got canceled on us last year, the Nonstop Fire. We need to get this one. It is probably one of the most vibrantly colored, almost looks like a dahlia, the color in there, just fantastic. Then we have some unique ones. So there's some Rex Begonias in here. So those are really always nice. Those are all about the leaves, and they have really unusual ones. So this one was Spearmint. This one is Shadow King Pink. This one's Shadow King Cherry Mint. And then we have, this is a dark Brit, it's called. That one's called Blitz. We carry that one. That one's been a really good performer. We don't carry the Canary Wing variety, but it is interesting. It has that bright yellow. Of course, coleuses. I've talked about coleuses at length in the past, so there's plenty there. But God, that vermilion, that is just something else. This is a new series, the Talverna, and so this is Moondust, Talverna Moondust, Talverna Tricolor, Talverna Sienna. So a lot of different ones in the coleus there. The Selenias, let's see, what's down here? Okay, so we're gonna keep going. The Downtown series is interesting. This is a new kind of series that they've come out with, and it's kind of the little sister to the Main Street series. So we're kind of interested in these. They have really interesting foliage as well. I'm not sure what we're gonna actually carry, but it is kind of fun to see what's in here. Now, when we look over here, this is the Selenia chocolate orange. It has that nice dark leaf, beautiful orange color. And then over here, Great Falls rose gold. We didn't carry this one, but it's such an interesting leaf. It's got my attention, I gotta say. Fragrant Falls peach. Here's the griffin. I love the griffin. I had that in my staff competition pot. Couldn't resist it. Then we have the stonehenge. This is one I really wanted to see. This is one that gets like 3 to 5 feet tall. And I just wanted to see, yeah, it has really sturdy branches, nice flowers on it, and the leaves are nice, big, waxy leaves on it. So that's going to be a fun one to check out. And then they have the hula too. And the hula is really a more of a trailing wax begonia, which is a really new variety. I saw it last year. I really loved it because it gets this incredible shape to it, just kind of great mounding habit. So instead of growing up like a lot of the other varieties do, this one definitely grows out and down. Really stunning. And the pink is probably my favorite of the colors that they have. And then these are some Bossa Nova begonias. So they have quite a few colors of those. Sweet Spice Apple Blossom. I've never heard of this one. Sweet Spice. It's a nice size, great flowers on it. And then Adora Velvet Red. Haven't seen that one before as well. Satin Rose Adora. So this Adora series must be a new one for them because I'm not so familiar with it. And remember your ferns. So whether it's the asparagus fern or the Boston fern, this is called Duranta. Haven't grown this before, so I don't know too much. Oh, it's kind of picky. So interesting. And then your spikes. So this is a red edge spike, which is really quite attractive. And then this is the magenta. And this one is known as a bicolor. And then we did have the Croton Petra. These are just really nice, beautiful color on them. And then this is Croton Mammy. We didn't have the Croton Gold Dust, which is the one with the yellow speckles on it.